All right. So we're gonna jump into this week's training, and I want to make it more interactive tonight if we can. Let's be more interactive. Normally, I know we ask you guys to kind of hold off to the end, but I want some interactive if you don't mind, because I need to make sure y'all understand what we going over. So let's get into our disclaimer here first.
Yeah, let's make it real interactive. Who wants to read it?
Oh,
I'll
how
read it.
about-
Okay. Training and investing carries a high level of risk. You could lose some or all of your investment. Trading commodities or any other financial instrument may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. We accept no liability for any losses or damages you may incur. This means you alone are responsible for your actions in any trading or investing activities.
Thank you.
Thank you
So
very much.
welcome to the Futures and Commodities 101. Um, Delvin wants to go back over lesson 9 on that we did last week. So um,
Yeah,
we got
so
a
I
we
think
got a short.
yeah. So what I do, I grab the quizzes. Um, I don't know. But that's something you want to do, Miss Laura? I'll do it.
Uh-oh, my job.
No, go right ahead.
Okay, so let's get the first quiz. Uh, all right. So the first one is when a bottom formation starts forming on the chart, this indicates that the market is possibly starting to bottom out and changing direction. The trend could be changing from a downtrend to a uptrend. A true, B false, C not sure. Once again, when a bottom formation starts forming on the chart, this indicates that the market is possibly starting to bottom out and change directions. The trend could be changing from a downtrend to a uptrend. Is this A true? Is this B false? C not sure.
True.
Steven, that was you saying true?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
True.
Is that Jamal with the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anybody feel different from Steven and Jamal? Anybody not sure? Everybody agrees with true. All right. And the answer is true. Good job. Good job on that one. Let's see. We had one more quiz. I want everybody, if I can I get everybody attention for this one, please? Uh, in a bottom formation, the number 2 point represents what? A, support and exit. B, resistance and exit. C, support and entry. D, resistance and entry. D is not sure. Once again, in a bottom formation, the number 2 point represents what?
C.
A, support and resistance. B, resistance and exit. C, support and entry. D, resistance and entry. And D is not sure about this. Did I
C.
hear somebody? Steven, you saying C?
That's correct.
Anyone else?
C.
Support and entry.
C.
Okay, I heard a couple people. What was that?
I say
C.
D.
All
C2.
righty. Sound like I hear V and Jamal on at the same time, but I'm not able to make out what you got.
Okay, this
C.
is B, and I say D.
V saying D, and what you say, Jamal?
C.
C. Anyone else?
Lorenzo says C.
Lorenzo says C.
What? Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna go back over lesson 9, and I appreciate everybody's answering these quizzes. It really is so important when y'all answer the quiz because it helps us to know where we need to focus at. And let's go back over last week's training, the bottom formation, before we go to the top formation, so that we can make sure we're clear on how the bottom formation works and make sure we're able to identify what the 1, 2, and 3 represents. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at last week training, Johnny. Let's take it back from the top, if you will, on last week.
Okay. The Futures and Commodity 101 is a perfect starting point. This is going to cover you. Also, we want to do special thanks to the CME group for providing us information, as well as Chicago Board of Trades, the New York Mercantile, and the Commodities, the COMEX, and bar charts for their information. All right, so let's look at the bottom formation. A bottom formation suggests a possible reversal in the market direction, indicating that transition from bearish to bullish trend. It is typically developed after an extended downtrend when the price begins to stabilize at a lower level. All right, so y'all got that one correct. Okay. So a bottom formation occurs when a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation known as support and resistance. Therefore, there can be multiple 2s and 3s on the chart. All right. So the number 1 is the lowest price on the chart. Okay. The number 2 is resistance. That means it changed directions from the number 1 and started upwards until it hit resistance. All right. And then
Hey,
a
Johnny,
number,
can we pause right here for a second,
yes, sir.
if you don't mind? Could you read number 2 again?
Number 2 is the entry price on the chart and is the resistance level.
Okay. I want to ask everyone again. Can you tell me what the answer for the quiz is?
It should be D.
Should be D, Alice?
Yes, although I said C, I didn't read all of that. It should be D. Yes. Yes,
Anybody
sir.
else? Okay, thank you, Alice.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anybody else can tell me what the answer is?
D.
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 Very good.
So make sure we understand what Johnny said the number one represents is support, the lower price. And number two is what? Resistance. And also it's our entry. That's the answer for our quiz question. All right. Okay, thank you, Johnny. Go ahead.
All right. And the number three, all right, is the exit from the market and is the support level. All right. So when we talk about the exit, what would we be exiting? How would we exit this if the number two is the entry and the number three is exit? What would the number three be called when we placed our order?
Stop loss.
Stop loss. Very good.
Very good. Is everybody understanding the number one being support, the number two being resistance, and then the number three being another level of support? Is everybody clear about that?
Yes.
If you're not, please let me know so we can cover this. If you need it to be explained, that's why we're going back over this. Everybody good? Okay. What's our next slide, John?
We would like 10 to 14 days for confirmation is recommended when entering a trade.
Yeah, it's not always gonna be that amount of time, but that's what's recommended. That's what we like to see. Do we always get it? No. I tell you what, Johnny, on this chart, are you able to mark up the 1, 2, 3?
Not here.
In your tool thing don't let you. Okay.
So let me go back here. We can do it here. I forget what was that.
Delphine, why Johnny's doing the chart? So you said ideally it's 10 to 14 days. So then what is the minimum confirmation would you say that the average person would need in order to get into a trade?
When you want to see the structure look right and give you enough room to get into the trade. So, look at a bare minimum, maybe 7 to 10 days at the bare minimum. But if you can get, 10 days, it'll be better than 7. The whole idea to that is that you don't want the 1, 2, and 3 to be so far away from each other.
Right.
In the world. I'm sorry, give me a minute.
Most important thing to just understand, because of risk management, we want to have a 2 and a 3 that are within a distance where you don't have to have such a big stop loss, meaning that you'll be risking way more than you really want to risk on the trade to put your stop loss below the number 3. Does that make sense, Lee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The longer it takes to make the 1, 2, 3, the farther away the 2 and the 3 will be from each other. And now that's just going to be risking too much to get into that.
Okay, can y'all see the
Yes.
chart? All right. So the number one would be here.
And what would that number one be, y'all? That Johnny just put. That number one is what? Is that support or resistance?
Support.
Absolutely. So you see Johnny just placed the number two. What would the number two represent?
Resistance.
Absolutely. Correct. Now, the number three he just placed on the chart. What would the number three represent?
Stop.
That's your exit and your stop loss.
Support.
Support.
Remember, we said we're going to have a support, then resistance, and then another level of support. So we got two support levels. Support is number one, resistance is number two, and number three is support as well.
Oh, okay.
Everybody understand this?
Yeah, clearly.
Okay. Now, Johnny just talked about the fact that the number two would represent our entry, and the number three would represent our exit. So when do we enter the trade, Stephen? What do we wait for before we enter the trade?
We enter at number two.
Right. We wait for that bottom formation for the
Confirm.
market to do what?
To confirm. Yeah, there it
Confirm
Say
is.
it
it.
again, Jamal.
Look at
Confirm it.
confirmation.
That's right. We're waiting for the market to confirm that this is a bottom formation, because that mark, that you see the market starting to trade back up toward that number two. It doesn't have to trade up to the two. It can turn around and go back down. So we waiting for it to go test that number two and actually trade through it, because our order is going to be sitting right above the number two, right above it. That's where we're going to enter. So we want the market to come to us. We got an order sitting there waiting. And when it trades through that, like Jamal said, that confirms that it is a number two, and our order would be filled. We would enter the trade above that number two. Now, once we got filled, are we in profit, or did we start going into a loss? You see right above the number two where we got filled at? You
Yeah.
see Johnny's line? You see that line Johnny
Yeah.
placed?
Mm-hmm.
So after we got filled, did we go into profit?
Yes.
You see the uptrend that started after we got filled? The market started to do what? Make what?
Started.
What did it start to make? As it start forming an uptrend.
Oh my God! If I hit the wrong button again, I'm gonna go crazy.
Higher
It start
highs.
forming what? Huh? It start forming higher what?
Higher highs.
Higher highs and higher lows, which is higher resistance and higher support. Everybody with me so far?
Hey.
We in this trade from that first number two. Are we making money? The market filled our order, then start trading up. Are we making money or losing money?
Oh, come on, folks. It's easy.
Aren't
Y'all,
we
we
making
not
money?
sure?
We're making money.
Aren't we making money?
That's what I was asking you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's what I want y'all to understand. The number 3 is our support, our exit if the market trades against us. We have what Johnny told us, our stop loss at the number 3. Did the market trade down to the number 3?
No, sir.
Not at all. So we got
Not at
into the
all.
trade
Mm.
and the market started trading higher. This is how we started to make profit. So as you can see, we traded all the way up until the trend started to change directions. Does everybody see where up at the top where the market start to make a change in direction?
Yes.
Everybody see that? We got in the trade, we start making profit. The market traded up to the point where it started changing direction. In that process, it continued to make higher highs and higher lows, meaning that the number 2 and the number 3 started to trade higher than the previous number 2 and number 3. Everybody with me? That's why we said higher highs and higher lows. Y'all understand me so far, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we traded all the way up to the point where the market started changing directions. And then what we have, Johnny already had the chart waiting on us. What now that we have that the market starting to change direction, what happened?
One thing, we got a new number 1.
We started making a top, right, Alice?
Yes, sir.
Did we make a top formation?
1, 2, and 3. Yes.
Yes, we did. Now, back to what I asked about when would we enter the trade? Jamal said we would enter the trade when the market confirmed. In this 1, 2, 3 top, did the market confirm?
Yes.
Somebody said yes.
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, let me ask a better question. How does the market confirm? Who can tell me?
When it forms a number 3 and then goes back to trade through the challenger number 2 and trades through it.
Did everybody hear what Paula just said? That's how the
Yes.
market confirms. When we hit that number 3, and then the market trades back to challenge and test that number 2. Once it tests the number 2 and trade through it, it confirms that we do have a 1, 2, 3 top. Our order would have been filled just below the number 2. What once our order was filled, were we in profit or were we in a loss?
And profit.
We in profit, Paula? Anybody disagree
Yes.
with Paula? Anybody think that we was in a loss once we got into the trade? Come on, y'all. I need y'all to talk to us tonight. We want to make sure we got this.
No, we're in profit.
We in profit, Stephen?
Yes, sir.
Anybody think that we was in a loss once the order was filled? Joanne said profit. All right, so we were in profit, guys. What happened? The market started making what? What did the market start doing? Start going in the downtrend and making what?
like a sideways channel.
Start making lower lows
Lower lows and lower highs.
and lower highs. You see those 2s and 3s Johnny have already marked up for you?
Yeah.
You see the 2s and the 3s going lower? The next 2 is lower than the previous 2. The next
Yes.
3 is lower than the previous 3. So we ended, we started making money going down. And then at some point, the market started changing direction. I want to go back to something we took, we trained and went over 3 weeks ago. When we got into the trade from the bottom formation, going back over to the left, when we got into the trade from the bottom formation, the market started trading up to the point where it got all the way up to the number 1 and changed direction. Did the market retrace 50%?
Yes.
Paula say yes. Anybody else?
Yeah.
V said yeah. Anybody say no? All right. Want to make
I
sure y'all see that we got in this. Go ahead, Johnny.
I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do we want to teach that the bottom is a closing bottom or that it just traded? In other words, what would you prefer to mark as the new number 1?
But as we
See
watched that
that
video,
this traded down, but it closed
mm-hmm.
up, and this closed down. So
All
this
right.
is a new closing low. So which would you prefer to teach?
Well, like I was saying, as we watch that video, you'll see that they're going to teach you from that modified 1, 2, 3. But if we've been teaching to only use that 1 for your highest and your lowest on the chart. But that's the more aggressive and the modified 1, 2, 3. So yeah,
Because
people do trade the 1, 2, 3 like that though.
okay, because and if this is a 1, this will be the new 2, and this will be the new 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't trade below the number 1.
All right.
And then that would have been a 1, 2, 3 bottom again.
Yep.
If
So make
not,
sure. Yeah,
if
we just want
not,
to
it
make sure
would
they
be over
understand.
here.
Right. So remember, I asked you guys if y'all could interact with us tonight. So I want y'all to talk to me now. Are y'all clear about the 1, 2, 3? Any questions that we need to clear up on the 1, 2, 3? So this is the formations that we trade. So we want to understand them. This is what we're looking for when we're looking on the chart. So important to understand it for formations. So any questions on this? No question is a dumb question. Is there anybody unclear about any part of this?
No, I'm good.
Governor,
I
I
got
do
it.
want to make a point that people may be clear on this chart, but it takes you looking at many, many, many charts for you to be clearer, 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 clearer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you don't get it, look at another chart. You will get it eventually.
Yeah, very good. You're absolutely right. That's why we want to constantly keep getting chances to look at the chart. The more you look at them, like he said, the easier or the better you'll get at recognizing this. So just make sure you just keep looking at charts. And if you're not getting it right now, the more you look at charts, you will. Good. That's an excellent point, B. Was this the only slide we had just to being, Johnny?
Uh, yeah, well, this is actually from live bar
Yeah,
chart.
I know you're on bar chart now. I was wondering, just wondering in what market might be making a bottom.
Well, I was just trying to I went to try to replicate the chart she had listed. So,
Yeah,
but we can go to any other place you want to look.
yeah. That's why I was wondering which chart was making a bottom right now. Tell you what, let's um let's look at OJ, see how OJ looked, Johnny. Go to the slides right quick, see what we got. So,
Any month.
nah, I don't think it matters.
Oh,
Hope we got a bottom on this chart.
this is 6 month.
Yeah, look like we got all kind of gap going on. All right. What about oats, Johnny?
Oats.
Yeah, I was hoping she had another one in that slide.
No, it's made a top.
Yeah.
How about
Tell you what, if you can, go back to that oats for me for 1 minute, Johnny. Yeah, go full chart on this one for a second. Yeah. All right. So I guess we could use this bottom formation right here in the middle of the screen. Yeah. Does everybody see the bottom formation? Anybody not seeing it yet? All right. Thank you, John. So what I wanted to point out, you remember I asked that question about when we would get into the market, and and um and Jamal said when the market confirms, and I've talked about we want to see the market confirm because the market could change directions on us. Does everybody see the 1, 2, 3 Johnny marked up?
Yes.
Everybody- All right. So do we see that if we had our order placed above the number two, which will out that would be our entry, the market tested that number two. Did the number two, when it tested the number two, did the number two hold?
Okay.
Yes or no?
No.
I heard something, but I couldn't make out what you said.
No, it didn't know.
No.
Well, let me show y'all how it did. The market tested the number two, but it didn't trade through it. So what happened is it tested the number two, and the number two actually held, and the market went back down. We wanted to trade through the number two. You see how it didn't trade through the number two?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all see that? How it tested the
yeah,
two, but it didn't trade through it. The number two did hold.
Question.
when you
Mm.
okay.
So if it changed trends, what would we have? We would be having higher highs and what?
High lows.
Okay. Did we have a higher high and higher lows?
No.
Lower low.
Yep. So the number three failed.
Now, in this case, do you see why it's good to wait till the market confirms?
Yeah.
Because we changed directions when we got up to the number two. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to wait till the market confirms, trade through that number two, and then that's where we enter the trade. So if you would have entered the trade, let's say you did enter that trade, you got filled right at the number two, you got on in. Were you in profit after you got filled?
No, sir.
You got
Did
stopped out, didn't you?
you get stopped out?
Yeah, because it started trading down.
Why
What,
did you
what,
get stopped out?
right.
You got stopped out because it started trading down. You was wanting for it to go up, but it started trading down. So automatic stop out.
Where was your stop?
Right there beside the two. Right next to it because it started, well, not right next to it, but slightly next to it
Three.
when it started the downtrend.
Give
Number
me a number.
three.
Number three.
Second,
That's correct. When it traded below the number three, you would
when
have
it
been
traded
stopped
number
out
3.
because the number three was your stop loss, right?
Mm-hmm. Does everybody understand that? You see that,
Yeah.
Jamal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but I'm not understanding it.
Okay. So we have our 1, 2, 3 on the chart. You see that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the market, after we had that 1, 2, 3, the market traded up to the number two, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we said in this scenario, let's say you got in, you got filled right there.
Yeah.
At 317 and a half.
Yeah. And as soon as you got filled, the market started
Mm-hmm.
trading against you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see where the market started trading down toward the number three?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you see where it traded through and below the number three?
Yes.
So from that number two, that second number two on the chart, you see how it started trading down
Mm-hmm.
and went below the number three. Number three is where your stop loss would have been.
Right. That first number three.
At
Yep.
303, correct.
Okay. All right.
And you would have been stopped out right there, losing from that number two down to that number three.
Three. Yeah. Yeah.
You see why we don't like for that 2 and 3 to be too far away from each other?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we wrong, if the market going against us, we wanted to go ahead and get stopped out. Because after you got stopped out, you see how it continued to keep going down
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to where Johnny has the number one at.
Yeah, the new number one, yeah.
Yeah, so we glad we got stopped out above the number below the number three
So
because we
your
wanted to
broker
stop the
might have
bleeding.
been calling you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at that point we want to stop the bleeding.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lord. Yeah, won't bleed out.
So the
right.
point can be for you or against you.
Absolutely. That's right. The most important thing we want to know, guys, is that we want to be in control. We want to enter the market where we want to enter, and we want to have a stop loss to get out of the market when we ready to get out. And in this particular case, the market stopped us out and went down even further, and we got out of the market at a good time. We would have lost even more had we not got stopped out.
So, so at the number 3 is our stop loss, right? And then we're going down to the number 1, creating a whole new number 1, 2, and 3. Right there at that 3 would be my stop loss. That's where I would get out the market right there before it starts at number 1.
Yeah, your stop loss should be just below that number 3. You see the first number 3, the one, two,
Yeah,
three.
yeah, I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, your stop loss should be right below that. You see Johnny line?
So that would be like 301 or 303 or something like that.
303.7. Yeah.
That number 3 is what? What does that number 3 represent again?
My stop loss
And
and exit.
Risk
exactly,
entry.
and it's another level of support. So if we break in support, we want to get out. Support didn't hold. The market traded through the floor. Get me out of here.
Time to break out. Got it. Got it. Some reason it's more clear than it was before.
Awesome.
But if you decided to get back in the trade, the new number 1, number 2, number 3, and then your new entry point would be at 310, at 310,
Mm-hmm.
just above the number 2, 311, somewhere in there.
So essentially, you're just practicing the same routine over and over and over again to
Right.
confirm it.
And your new
See?
stop loss would be here at this number 3. Notice it went up and then came back down, but it never
Yeah.
got below the number 3.
Yeah, it never came below. Right.
Didn't make a new
Right.
number 3. It was a higher high, and then off to the races until
All
it
right,
changed
cool.
direction again. Hey, folks, if you look at this, I don't care what chart we look at, you see this over and over and over again. 1, 2, 3 bottom, change direction, 1, 2, 3 top, 50% retracement. You know, it just it repeats itself over and over and over again, no matter what chart.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to point out, Johnny. That we see how the market traded up in that uptrend, and then when it changed direction, what happened? Everybody see what happened over to the right? See how it just over and over and over. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes, I see it.
You made a 1, 2, 3 tops.
Yeah. And our order would have been where? What would our order be? We want to get in where?
The number 2.
Below the number 2. And once our order was filled below the number 2, what happened? Were we in profit or loss?
Profit.
Profit.
Profit. Y'all see that? Like Johnny
Mm-hmm.
said, over and over again, those formations keep forming. Yep. Anybody got any questions about what we went over? Let's open it up for Q&A. Any questions or comments about what we went over? We want to make sure we understand the formations because the formations are what we are watching for. So that's what we're looking to trade on the chart. Any questions or comments?
Yeah. All right. So I really appreciate the fact we went over it again because it did clear up some questions that I had on my own that I see most of us are still struggling with or not quite understanding. Because of the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's here. We look at I look at the charts every day, and sometimes I forget the actual formation when I'm practicing or what have you. And then other times I look at the chart and I know exactly what it's reading. So I believe I heard Alice say earlier, the more we look at the charts, the better we get at them. Because I know that's what you said at the very beginning. Practice, practice, practice. That's all I can say. Thank you guys for your time. Stay blessed.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Yep. Glad it's clearing up and getting more clarity out of, the training. So anyone else?
I have something I'd like you to confirm for me, just listening to you all today.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about clarity, but this is just my question.
Mm-hmm.
The entry points,
Mm-hmm.
the target, and this is for me, I'm just trying to get a clear picture in my own head. The target is what we're going toward, right?
Correct.
Whether it's a bottom formation or a top formation. We're going
Absolutely correct.
toward the top target, right?
Right.
So if we're going from the bottom toward the target, 2 being our entry, we're above the number 2,
Mm-hmm.
going toward our target in profit.
Mm-hmm.
But and these are
Now,
questions I'm asking actually. But
now
if
what
we're
what
in
is
the
our target, Alice? Our target is what?
50% retracement,
There you go.
and if we're in a top formation, again, 2 is our entry.
Mm-hmm.
We're going down toward our target. And tell me if that's incorrect. This is what's in my head.
No, you're
Going
absolutely correct.
going down toward our target. So we go enter under the number 2
Mm-hmm.
because we're going toward our target. Either way, whether we're going up or down, our goal is to go toward our target to be in profit.
You got it.
That's what I just got a picture of with you all talking on tonight. That's what I got from it.
Well, you explained it very well. So you got it very clear. Your clarity is,
Hey,
is excellent. Great job.
hey, I just got a whole bunch of stuff cleared up with that one statement, bro.
You did?
Yeah, because I've gone to charts and let me know if I'm correct. When you go to charts, your 50% retracement is already shaded out and grayed out. That's what I've
No.
seen.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes it could be, but
Yeah, that's what I've
exactly.
seen. Like on every chart, it's already done. And because I've asked myself, like, why am I calculating this if it's already shaded out over to the right?
Oh, because we put it in there. Give me just a second.
Oh no, I'm talking about on the chart on my bar chart account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it be already grayed out. Cause I've asked myself a few times, like, why am I calculating this if it's grayed out right here? It's already grayed out to the right. And it's been on every chart that I've gone to.
Mm.
It's already,
But
it's already, it's already grayed
it's
out.
good to but it's good to know the formula. I suppose, yeah, it's good to know the formula. But
Mm-hmm.
what she just stated cleared up a lot of stuff just now because
Correct.
like it was confusing and not confusing and confusing and not confusing. And I just got to a place where I shut down. I'm like, man, I thought I understood this chart. I thought I understood the chart. But you just trying to go toward the 50% retracement.